Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. Today, we're looking at some massive progress updates coming straight out of the Cardano ecosystem, specifically focusing on the Atlas DeFi project. You know, the race to build a truly robust, fully on-chain trading experience is moving at absolute breakneck speed right now. And Atlas just laid out their exact launch trajectory. So we're going to break down exactly what this means for the entire landscape of decentralized trading. Right off the bat, the biggest news of the hour. The highly anticipated V2 Testnet for Atlas is officially live. I mean, this is a massive milestone. Cardano's fully on-chain perpetuals exchange is actually opening its doors for its next critical phase of testing. Look, it's one thing to just talk about building a decentralized exchange, right? But it's another entirely to actually deploy a V2 environment where complex perpetual contracts are executing fully on-chain. This is literally the moment where theory meets practice.
Section 1. V2 Testnet is now live, stepping into the arena.
And this brilliantly illustrates what we're talking about with Atlas. You know, this testnet isn't just some closed-door update for the developers. No, it's a direct opportunity for us, the community, to engage right now. The whole ethos behind this project is to build something that can actually bear the weight of the network securely. They want a battle-tested product, not a rush launch. And to get there, they are literally calling on you to jump in and push the system to its absolute limits.
So how can you actually get involved? Well, the devs are asking you to stress test the platform. Seriously, break it if you can. And to make it a bit more fun, they've set up leaderboards with actual rewards, plus incentives if you share content about your experience. On the technical side, they really need users hammering those vault deposits and withdrawals to make sure the flow of funds is absolutely fluid and secure. You can even stake and burn test Atlas tokens just to get a feel for how the core mechanics hold up under real pressure. It's an incredibly active hands-on testing phase meant to completely shape the final product.
Moving on to Section 2, New Markets and Platform Features, Trading Traditional Commodities on-chain.
Now, beyond just making sure the plumbing works, V2 is bringing some massively refined UI, UX, and just better overall performance. But honestly, the real game changer here is the asset expansion. So before, your base crypto markets let you trade the heavy hitters, BTC, ETH, and ADA. But now, Atlas is actively bridging the gap between DeFi and traditional finance. You can actually trade real-world commodities, specifically oil and gold, with leverage entirely on-chain. That is wild. It taps into this massive, globally recognized liquidity pool and broadens the platform's appeal way, way beyond just crypto-native assets.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that number right there. 100,000. According to the latest project updates, there are only around 100,000 Atlas tokens remaining for OTC, or over-the-counter allocation. It's a pretty strict impending limit on the remaining available supply through this specific channel. So if you're keeping track of token distribution and mechanics, that is absolutely a vital metric to watch.
Let's move to seeing how this builds into Section 3, the roadmap to Mainnet, navigating the upcoming milestones.
Okay, so with the testnet live, what actually happens next? Well, the team has mapped out a specific sequence. June 24th was when the V2 testnet went live. Next up is July 4th for the staking launch. And then they're eyeing July 18th as the ultimate mainnet target. But, and I need to echo the developer's explicit caveat incredibly loudly here, these dates are purely estimates, okay? They will absolutely shift depending on final testing, audits, and security checks, because at the end of the day, security has to be prioritized over a rushed calendar.
All right, Section 4, Expanding Atlas Token Utility, Integrations Beyond the Core Exchange.
So while the perpetuals exchange is obviously the core focus here, the Atlas token itself is gaining a ton of utility across the broader ecosystem. Thanks to a brand new integration with the Fluid platform, Atlas is transforming from just a simple exchange asset into a really multifunctional DeFi tool. Step 1, you can now lend your tokens out to other users. Step 2, you can leverage them as collateral to borrow entirely different assets. Or Step 3, you can put them to work by creating liquidity pools. It's all about giving you more options.
Which really leaves us with this final thought to ponder. As Atlas pushes toward Mainnet, how will fully on-chain perpetuals for legacy commodities like oil and gold ultimately shape the future of the Cardano ecosystem? I mean, bringing these massive, traditional markets onto a decentralized chain is a seriously bold move, and it could completely redefine what we think is possible in DeFi. I highly encourage you guys to go explore the testnet, read through their docs, and see it for yourself. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.